Warning, before I start this video, I won't be making any more videos about these two people anymore. But if they trash talk about me, I'll either respond by making another video or straight up ignore them altogether. So without any further ado, let's get into the video. What is going on, guys? It's Ninja here. Today I'll be talking about the history of my friendship between BroZone669 and 925. This will also include the history of light justice because this plays a big role. So without any further ado, let's get into this. After starting school in 2007, I noticed that there were two people that would always leave 20 minutes earlier than everyone else. And those two people, I can't name one of them, but the other one was BroZone925. Little would I know, these people would become my best friends of all time. And wow, holy crap, I am not kidding when I meant that, because we would hang out a lot. After both our classrooms were watching TV, Will and I really did like each other. But, however, little would we know is that in 2008, we had become best friends. In 2008, we were in the same classroom, and wow, I was definitely happy. We got to make a lot of friends all together, and even ones that would become a staple in my friendship. All in all, we had a great time together, and we would keep getting better over the years. 2011, I met Toby for the first time, BroZone669. I thought, you know what? I'm gonna be friends with this person, but as soon as I found his personality was so kiddish, I absolutely hated him, and so did everyone else, funnily enough. From here, a bunch of people, including myself, were not friends with him all the way through the entire year, and we definitely hated him. We did have other problems, but thankfully the problem, which was a bad teacher, got fired in the end. Thank God. In 2014, I thought, here we go again, it's gonna be Toby again acting like a kid. Well, little would I know, he changed for the better, and so did his friend. From this point, we became friends, and so we just continued on through the years. In VCAL 2016, I got to meet BroZone925 again, and I was so happy to have him. There was one person that tried to get me over to betray him, but that was so easy to get out of. First few days, I was struggling a lot in VCAL. It wasn't until somewhere late February and early March where I started to make a big comeback, and wow, everyone was shocked that I was getting so much better, and I felt like I was part of the team. I was getting so much better at VCAL that BroZone925 really felt like giving me the congrats, and honestly, it felt so rewarding. And after that year was gone, we were both happy that we came out even better than we were before. 2017, Toby joined VCAL. Will and I were happy. We couldn't wait. We had one person that was a really dangerous issue, and we're not going to talk about that side. We would continue to go up on YouTube and get even better content and all that stuff, and we even learnt so many things that we didn't know about YouTube, and wow, we had a lot of learning up our sleeves. But unfortunately, the worst came. The final day of 2017 was a sad ending. Everyone, including myself, we definitely had our own feelings about it, and I was definitely sad. I may have not cried, but on the inside, I definitely missed everybody that was there. Going into 2018, and this was easily on my top 5 worst years of all time year, and I'm about to tell you why. School was terrible for both Toby and I. We hated it. The teachers were lying to us, and everyone felt so kiddish or depressed. It was that bad. But anyways, that's all I'm going to say about that. YouTube felt like a rush for us. We either made something good or something bad, and it was just very luck-based for us. That's how we felt, of course, and it was a lot different to what it really was on YouTube. One day we went to watch Avengers Infinity War together. We were disappointed about the ending. So we decided, you know what, let's make a series together and make it so we get to pick what we want to do in the series. In order to make a good series, you need good characters and a great story. And guess what? We did exactly that. We invited a lot of people and even got the whole crew together to make characters and even story arcs. We made in total 50 episodes for season 1, and we couldn't wait to show BroZone925. Only one problem, he did not like 50 episodes, and he said, why not make it much lower than that? At first, Toby and I disagreed with Will, but in the end, we decided, you know what, let's contain more things in each episode to make up for it. Skipping over to my final day of school, it was both happy and a sad ending. Happy because I got to play with everyone for the last time, but the sad ending, saying goodbye. I was in tears, and Toby even got everyone to celebrate one last goodbye for me, and thank you for doing that. I even cried on the bus endlessly, as well as going back home. And at some point I did stop crying, but yeah, it was a really hard one to stop. Light Justice beginning was really fun. Yes, there were bumpy roads here and there, but you know what? Sometimes the best franchises have that, and funnily enough, I wouldn't be surprised if even the best franchises in the world had that at the beginning. Light Justice was at its best with 2019, with so many smashing ideas and great characters. I just couldn't wait to see what was in store for us. Toby and I were making so many great ideas for Light Justice. They were ticking everything we wanted. Everything was going so smooth. But one incident would hurt all of us. Unfortunately, on BroZone669's birthday, which I'm not going to tell anybody, two people that I'm also not going to tell left the group. This was a big step back for us. I don't care who was winner and loser in this argument, which, by the way, I don't know who was, and neither was so many people, but I'm not going to say that it did anything good for the Light Justice community. Unfortunately, Toby was upset, but we cheered him up, we made him happy again, and that's what mattered. Best way I could describe after that incident, everything got better, and Light Justice, as well as both of our YouTube channels, just kept getting so much more popular. I won't forget about the LEGO Star Wars collaboration franchise. Wow, that was a great journey. Just to let everyone know that LEGO Star Wars The Complete Saga collaboration will not be discontinued. I'll just be doing it with somebody else, and that's it. From here, our journey pretty much outside Light Justice was we were having a lot of fun, going to the arcades and plenty of places. It was a lot of fun. I'll never forget about the Halo arcade. That was great. Light Justice Trailer 2 came out, and a lot of positive feedback from our friends was all great. Unfortunately for the Light Justice team members, including myself, it wasn't perfect. We had our own negatives. I'll only go over my negatives because it will be far too long. So, the first one will be Thanos' voice.
Fine. I'll do it myself.
In Light Justice, we do expect, if we're going to use a character, that it won't sound exactly like the original, but we keep a certain standard to make sure it sounds somewhat close, or pretty damn close to the same, but this is not one of them. My second negative being Spider-Man's web swing animation. Yes, that's how long it lasts for in the trailer, but other than that, I was not a fan of it, and that's all I really need to say because I don't really know how to describe it. The third and final negative, Lucario blocking the Emperor's Force Lightning / Darth Sidious, his real name. I never understood how this made any sense whatsoever. Lucario can't block Force Lightning. Like, there's nothing in Pokemon saying he can block those type of attacks, but other than that, I really didn't get it, and I don't know if they're trying to make it for later seasons type of cutscene, but they should have left it out of this trailer. If you want to know a lot more about our thoughts on Trailer 2 Light Justice, link is in the description. During 2020, on March, April, June, we were having mixed feelings across the board. Things were getting a lot more delayed, as well as we just had a lot of stuff that weren't going well. There was a lot of pressure to get the next trailer for Light Justice out of the way, so on June 3rd, 2020, we released Light Justice Season 1 final trailer. It was a huge success, so successful that both Super Nintendo Bros as well as myself released our own version on our own channel. Near the end of June, unfortunately, everything would collapse. Both Toby and I wanted things one way, and Super Nintendo Bros wanted things another way just from a certain part of a certain episode, and this was when COVID got the better of us. Unfortunately, a protest would happen and it would destroy the relationship between BroZone925 and myself. Then I said to myself on the final day, you know what? if I can change the relationship of someone being negative between my other friends, it's gotta work here. It didn't, and that's where our friendship ended. Without BroZone925 on my side, how could it get worse? Let's find out. One day, Super Nintendo Bros talked about something he was depressed with his life about, and he said that if he could change it, he would have a perfect life forever. I told him that he would change something for the worse if he did that. He disagreed. We both went through depression, and 7 days later, I came out successful. Super Nintendo Bros got out of it as well too, but it took much longer, and I'm happy he got out of it. Like Justice, on the other hand, everything was going much slower than expected, and both Toby and I were not sure how we were going to handle it. But unfortunately, something changed it for the worse. July the 26th. I was having a great time. I was having a lot of fun, both with BroZone669 and his friend. We were having a great time on Call of Duty. All great stuff. So what happened? I remember coming back from eating my food, and I remember wondering, why did they leave? I sent them an invite message back to the party. I even sent an invite message to them so they could invite me to their party, but they didn't even respond, and not even "Are you okay?" they responded to. So my sense was telling me something's not good. Trying to ignore it was really hard, but at least I could talk to the rest of the people on Messenger, and they responded, except for Toby, and I just was really wondering what is going on. Other than that, I had a fun day, and I stayed up to 2 o'clock. July the 27th, I was having a fun time, and I was practicing for the excellent achievement on Simpsons Arcade. But then, I got a phone call from Toby, but let's see what happened. I answered Toby's phone call and said, "Hey Toby, how's it going?" He started off silent, but then he said, "You did this, you did that," continuously for a long time, for almost 6 minutes, while I only got to talk for like 1 or 2 seconds in between, saying "okay" 3 times and "alright," and then the final one being, "I don't get what you're talking about, I really don't." And then he responded with, "The fact that you didn't get what I was talking about is what makes you so stupid. This, that. And then I said, "Have yourself a great day, Toby, and I'll see you when you calm down." I went to ask other people to see if they could solve it, but instead, well, BroZone669, he just didn't care at all and just said I was a terrible person. And then BroZone925 didn't want to let them speak one time for 30 minutes almost. Both calls were on phone credit except for that Messenger one, and I was not happy. Then Toby went kicking me out of every group. This was after the Messenger call, by the way, that he kicked me out of every group. The phone call was after that, and this message was what made me want to call them. And from there I sent one message. It's been a great time having you guys as a friend, but sadly it's came down to this. But anyways, thank you all for being my friends. Anyways, I'll see you when you need me. Bye. That argument was so bad that when I went shopping and when I went back into the car, I was crying. It was that terrible. And if you thought I was being kicked out of the group, nope, Super Nintendo Bros was also being kicked out of the group too. And I'm sure he felt pissed off too. Everything was so terrible that the next day I decided, you know what? I'm going to make a Light Justice cancelled episode. And that way nobody can have the rights to Light Justice, and it would stay as a thing from the past when we used to be friends together. Toby responded like a 5-year-old with these 2 messages, and everyone else played the "this is not cancelled blah blah blah" game. And yep, these are all the evidence right here of how not to be a good person. From there, 2 YouTubers deliberately did their own videos to think that I was doing the wrong thing. I even sent the truth on a comment, but nobody believed me or even cared. And that's how it all ended. It wasn't great in the end, and that's what happened. So thank you guys for watching. If you liked this video, leave a like and subscribe. Until then, have a great day, and I'll see you all until my next video.